Now in 4 News Now at 6, President Biden bids farewell as his final week as commander-in-chief is slowly coming to an end. Hear his warning about the tech industry coming up.
And the coldest temperatures of the season are right around the corner. I'll show you when our cold snap is going to get going and how long it'll last.
And a former University of Idaho professor and spokesman review editor is heading to prison for child pornography. What he had to say to his victims and former students in court today. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
After 50 years of public service, I give you my word. I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands. A nation where the strength of our institutions and the character of our people matter and must endure. Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame.
That was President Biden's message to the American people as he gave his final address from the Oval Office. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Derek Dice.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. During his speech, the president highlighted some of his achievements over the last 4 years, but he also warned Americans about the rise of a potential tech industrial complex.
Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing. Social media is giving up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies told for power and for profit. We must hold the social platforms accountable to protect our children, our families, and our very democracy.
Biden's term will officially come to an end as President-elect Donald Trump is sworn in Monday morning.
And once Trump takes office, he'll begin appointing his people to key positions across the country. And that includes a new U.S. attorney for Eastern Washington. Vanessa Waldref will step aside. President Biden nominated her as the chief federal law enforcement officer here in late 2021, and the Senate unanimously confirmed her. While Waldref was only in the position for about 3 years, she made a big impact going after drug trafficking rings, COVID fraudsters, and environmental and civil rights abusers. She spoke with 4 News Now's Robin Nance about some of the work she's most proud of, including being as transparent as possible.
And that's important for victims to come forward and for, tribal communities to feel safe on tribal lands when there hasn't been as much investment in taking those cases historically. So I think that part of the role of community engagement and transparency has been very important to me.
Now, following Waldref's departure, Richard Barker, the first assistant United States attorney, will become acting U.S. attorney until a Trump appointment.
Around the Northwest.
I, Bob Ferguson,
do solemnly swear
that I will support.
Well, that is video of now Governor Bob Ferguson being sworn in Olympia this afternoon, becoming the first new governor of Washington in 12 years. After taking the oath, Ferguson says he is ready to work with both sides of the aisle to try and find solutions to some of the biggest challenges facing the evergreen state.
Let's get straight to the point. We face real challenges as a state and as a people. Our state is...
We'll have more on the issues Ferguson plans on tackling first tonight at 6:30.
And while many in Washington are celebrating a new governor, on the other side of the globe, many are celebrating the ceasefire and hostage deal between Israel and Hamas.
If finalized, we could see the first part of that deal implemented in just a few days. Marissa Rio has the details.
From the streets of Khan Yunis in Gaza to Tel Aviv in Israel. Israelis seen lighting flares after hearing there's a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. The Prime Minister of Qatar making the announcements after high-level delegations negotiated the agreement over the course of months in Doha. President Biden speaking this afternoon.
Phase 1 will last 6 weeks. It includes a full and complete ceasefire, withdrawal of Israeli forces from all the populated areas of Gaza, and the release of a number of hostages held by Hamas, including women and elderly and the wounded. And I'm proud to say Americans will be part of that hostage release in phase 1 as well.
Biden's team and the incoming Trump administration were both involved in the negotiations. The president saying Israel will also release a number of Palestinian prisoners, and Palestinians will be able to return to their neighborhoods in Gaza. Israel's security cabinet set to convene tomorrow to officially approve the deal. Then it goes to the wider government before a 48-hour window for legal objections before the first of 3 phases is implemented. An Egyptian security source telling ABC News coordination is already underway to reopen the Rafah border crossing and allow the flow of international aid into Gaza. Fighting has been raging for more than 15 months since Hamas's attack on Israel on October 7th, 2023, which Israeli officials say left more than 1,200 people dead. Since then, more than 46,000 Palestinians have been killed in the war, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry. The prisoners have been held for 466 days. The agreement is set to begin this Sunday, January 19th. Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Well, we need to talk about our weather because things are rapidly changing and our heat bills are probably going to go up.
Yep, let's send it over to meteorologist Matt Gray in for Chris Crocker to see just how cold it's going to get, Matt.
Yeah, we avoided it for as long as we could, having to crank up the heat. Things are going to change, and they're going to change pretty quickly. It is very mild across the west right now. That includes our friends up north in Canada, where you have to go almost 1,000 miles to see temperatures in the teens and over 1,200 miles to see sub-zero cold. It has been very warm across the west over the past few days. Well, that is going to make take a basically 180-degree turn as Arctic air spills down and across the flatlands and the northern plains and eventually to here in the United States. That is going to happen on Friday after an initial wave of cooler air that'll start dropping our temperatures starting tomorrow night. This is not going to be a direct impact for us from Arctic air, but it's going to be close enough that we are going to see some pretty darn chilly temperatures, especially as the nights go on with clear skies, dry air. We will see those low temperatures in the morning be quite chilly and even frigid in some parts of North Idaho as we kind of flirt with single-digit lows. We'll talk more about that later in the program, but this is kind of our weekend period here where we're going to see those really cold temperatures. So here's kind of the look at what you could expect. A lot of folks got Monday off for Martin Luther King Day. You will want the coat starting really on Friday, and you're going to be needing it for a little while. More on specifics coming up.
All right, Matt, thank you. In less than an hour now, crews will be shutting down the westbound I-90 exit at Thor Freya. It'll be closed until about 1:30 in the morning while crews replace a damaged guardrail there. Drivers can take either the exit before it at Sprague or the one after it at Altamont.
Tonight, the former spokesman, review editor, and University of Idaho journalism professor has been sentenced to a decade in prison.
74-year-old Stephen Smith pleaded guilty to child pornography charges in which he paid girls as young as 10 years old for explicit photos and videos. Jordan Smith is a former student of Smith's at the University of Idaho. And Jordan, you were in court today to cover his sentencing.
Yeah, a lot to unpack here. Smith, a very notable name in journalism, particularly here in Spokane in the Inland Northwest. He taught students like me at U of I before that and led the charge on a story where a decoy posed as a gay teen online and exposed former Spokane Mayor Jim West in a gay scandal, despite West's political opposition to LGBTQ+ interests. And tonight, the man who dedicated his life to journalism will begin a decade-long prison sentence.
Before the court today is a 74-year-old man who used a computer to target minors in other states.
In court today, 74-year-old Stephen Smith went before a judge and former students, admitting his guilt in a child porn case involving children as young as 10 years old.
I thought my moral character, my moral center, was strong. I thought I was a good man. Obviously, not so. Instead of being an advocate, I became a victimizer, helping facilitate the sexual victimization of young people.
Smith was arrested in 2023. When investigators knocked on Smith's door, they asked if he knew why they were there. Smith replied, "Yes, it's probably from what I've been downloading." Court documents revealed he was chatting with children online when investigators arrived at his home. Smith today took accountability for his crimes, apologizing to the children he exploited.
To the underage victims of my crimes, no apology can truly mitigate the damage I have done. I became one of the many who have used and degraded you. And though it seems wholly inadequate to say, I am ashamed and so sorry.
Smith then addressed his colleagues and former students.
My crimes are, I know, a bitter betrayal. I know this. But I tell you now, the classroom lessons were good. Remember the lessons. Even as you put out of mind the professor who failed his final exam.
The judge said that while Stephen Smith did not personally put his hands on the children in those images, his viewing perpetuated and guaranteed an audience for their abuse. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Upon release, Smith will not be able to interact with female children without an adult presence, and his internet access will be monitored. Derek, Kirsten Nelson, back to you.
All right, Jordan, thank you. Still ahead, the Washington Supreme Court will soon decide the fate of the state's largest high-capacity magazine ban, while lawyers for one gun shop say it violates the state's constitution.
And health officials say the rate of domestic violence cases in Spokane County is higher than the state average. What one organization is doing to try and bring those numbers down, next on 4 News Now at 6.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
Donald Trump, Inauguration Day. David Muir reporting live, Monday on ABC.
Watch KXLY+ over the air on KXLY ABC4. Live updates, breaking news, weather every 10 minutes from the 4 News Now team. Get up to date on the information you need in just an hour. Weekdays at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. over the air on KXLY ABC4.
It's Walker's Furniture's 4-day holiday clearance, where we offer some of our biggest savings of the year. On many items, up to 70% off. Or receive 0% interest financing until 2030, with no down payment and no minimum purchase.
So you can get that new furniture you've been wanting at 4-day clearance prices. Today through this Monday at Walker's.
All right, it's going to be another good day. Hey, it's cold out, you guys. Families are freezing. They deserve better than that. Let's show them how business should be done. Hey, you guys, have a great day. Need anything, let me know. Okay, Fixed Rider is free, baby. You know Zach's going all the way this year, right?
Yeah, I do.
Big day. No heat calls, right? We haven't been voted #1 for nothing, you guys. We've worked really hard to earn these customers' trust, and let's show them that we are the best company in town, okay?
You'll never get away with this.
You can make it all go away.
Seriously, you think I can pull a $130,000 Escalade out of my sack?
Maybe try a little Christmas magic or whatever.
It's a little late for that.
What you doing?
There's a better way to score an Escalade. Play daily, only at Northern Quest.
Are you looking for a great place to get a great workout and crush those New Year's resolution goals? Let's go! Join now and strive to thrive in 2025 at Move Fitness.
Join the movement.
Next DT.
Hey, it's your girl Kiki Palmer. And I'm Issa Rae.
It's one of them days when these two spill the ET.
Oh, Kiki spilled the Issa. That was crazy.
Next DT.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in. I'm in too.
I am in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be here.
Welcome back. Spokane County data shows domestic violence rates are significantly higher than the statewide average. And while support services are available, there is a lack of bilingual support.
A local organization is now changing that. Mujeres in Spokane is just launched its first mental health program. Alexandra Cohenyard sat down with the organization and shares how this program plans to bridge the gap in health services for the Latin community here in Spokane.
This is the room that Mujeres in Action will be using to offer those therapy services. It offers a warm and welcoming space for survivors of domestic violence in the Latin community to be heard.
We didn't see that it was happening anywhere around us right now, so we knew that it was needed for our Latinx Spanish-speaking community.
Spokane already faces a shortage of therapists and mental health providers. The lack of bilingual professionals is even greater.
There is a gap in our community that the bilingual population, that's a big big population here in Spokane is unrepresented, or they don't have enough access to this services.
Mujeres in Action, also known as MIA, hopes to fill that gap with their new mental health program, offering culturally sensitive support for domestic violence survivors.
A lot of misconceptions, there's a lot of education that needs to happen, and I think this program will speak directly to our community.
According to MIA, 1 in 3 people in the Latin community are impacted by domestic violence. MIA's counselor, Monica Ray Cervantes, says the importance of responding to those survivors is crucial.
What happens when you immigrate to another country is that you don't have access, or you don't know how to get into many services.
This program hopes to provide survivors access to those services while providing mental health support along the way. If you are a member of the Latin community, MIA's message for you:
todo el mundo que trabaja aquí habla español e inglés, so estamos aquí para ti, para que vengas a acceder de los servicios.
Reporting from Spokane.
That was Alexander Cohen-Yards. Well, the fate of Washington's ban on the sale of high-capacity magazines is now in the hands of the state Supreme Court. Today, lawyers for a Washington gun shop argued the ban on magazines that hold more than 10 rounds violates a part of the state constitution that protects the right of the individual citizen to bear arms in defense of himself or the state. But the state argues these magazines aren't necessary to make a gun work. Lawyers for the Attorney General's office say since they're accessories, the ban does not violate state or federal constitutions. To see what other arguments were made by both sides, you can look for this story on KXLY.com.
Well, not everybody has seen the sunshine earlier today, and in fact now the cloud cover has turned into some extremely thick fog around parts of central Washington. You can see Hatton, Moses Lake, the visibility really low here. So take it easy out on the roads. We'll talk more about this fog and the chilly air that's headed our way.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mystiqua Casino Hotel in Chewelah.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. I want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Where winning is just the beginning.
Mainstream has proudly served Greater Spokane and Northern Idaho for over 20 years, offering reliable and high-quality home services. Our exceptional team is committed to delivering trusted plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical solutions that ensure the comfort and safety of your home. Our goal is to provide the best experience possible when it comes to repairing, maintaining, or installing systems that make your home a more comfortable place to live. Because we are home services, we are Mainstream.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. But they all just fade away. But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
For the professional, it's not enough to possess knowledge. We seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries. Knowledge is put to the test in every GMC Sierra. Get 0.9% APR on select Sierra 1500 models. That's over $4,200 in average finance savings.
See your local GMC dealer.
Are you looking for a good time to replace your carpets or give your kitchen or bathroom an upgrade?
Well, right now we are celebrating the new year by giving you 20% off installation to make your home more beautiful in 2025.
Tee off in style at Circling Ravens' top-tier golf suites. Play more than 80 famous golf courses around the world. It's a hole-in-one for all skill levels. Visit cdacasino.com for details.
Winning is just the beginning.
My only chance to walk the dogs this morning was in like the 7 a.m. hour, and I tell you, it was not warm at that time this morning.
No, our dog got a walk when it was nice and sunny out. It was a perfect day for a dog walk.
Yes, as long as you waited long enough for the clouds to break. Don't think the clouds are going to be breaking tomorrow. And as a matter of fact, a lot of this kind of fog and the clouds that never left in central Washington, I think is going to end up spreading out across our region as the night goes on here. We got some pretty thick fog. Speaking of dogs, I guess a Scooby-Doo would take the little knife and draw a circle around it to try and punch through the fog there on 395 in the Hatton area, just north of town. And then here's Moses Lake. We showed this right before the break, but just emphasizing here that we've got some pretty thick fog, and this stretches for over a large portion of the inland northwest. We now have a dense fog advisory in effect from the National Weather Service, so that's for Grant, Lincoln, and Adams counties. That will continue until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So basically, we've got to wait until some of this cooler, drier air drops down tomorrow night for the kind of a more moist air, and what will be a very calm day before that happens tomorrow likely means that the fog and the low cloud cover will not be dissipating, if at all. You can see it pretty clearly here in this blue color. So we've colorized the satellite image so you can kind of pick out the features a little bit easier. But basically, everybody else cleared out today, but further south into the Tri-Cities region and then right up towards Ritzville, Moses Lake, and then through the Vantage area on I-90, we basically did not see things improve today. We will see that fog gradually expand across the inland northwest, or at least through the central part of Washington state as the night goes on. So folks like around Grand Coulee and Ephrata, the fog for the most part is south of you. That is not going to be the case as we get into the morning. Also have to keep an eye on around the West Plains and into the Cheney area for some of that thick fog as we start the day. I think it'll just be low cloud cover as you head further to the east into North Idaho. And we'll see how long this sticks around, but I would expect that it will stick around for a decent while once again, we wait for that cold air to come down. Overall, not much of a change during the daytime hours here on Thursday. We'll be waiting until the evening for that chilly air, that first wave of chilly air to start rolling in. So this is about 9 in the evening, and you can see the cool air starting to come in these lighter blue colors and the purples and pinks. 18 in Bonners Ferry by the time we get towards 9, 10 o'clock. So already our northern community is going to start to feel the chill just a little bit Thursday night. By Friday morning, we've got some teens, even some low teens along the northern border and even down into the central panhandle, some of our higher elevations. Then we get another push coming in for Friday night and into Saturday, and you can see in western Montana how fast those temperatures drop, and that is going to help kind of get things going over here as well. It will just get cooler and cooler every single night. Now, as these waves of cool air come in both Thursday and Friday, there will be a chance for some snow, but as you can see here, it's not a very good chance for snow. In fact, things actually look a little more promising in places like Lookout Pass or around Shoshone County, for example, as we head into Friday afternoon as that Arctic air tries to push across the Bitterroot Mountains. We'll see how that plays out, but not super concerned about snow or any sort of travel impacts from that. It's definitely about the cold weather and making sure you are staying warm through the holiday weekend.
All right, Matt, we'll be ready. Still ahead, the number of people in Spokane who need important documents translated is growing. We'll show you the City Council's plan to break down the language barrier next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
Wherever you need us, American On Site.
Papa Murphy's new cheesy stuffed crust pizza. It's what stuffed crust pizza should be. Hot, melty, and fresh from your oven. Starting at $13.99.
When you get injured in a car accident, you're going to have to fight with a big insurance company.
Who make huge profits by paying out small settlements.
That's when you call Russell and Hill.
Call 800-LAW-0842.
For the greatest selection at the lowest prices, come to Cost Less Carpet.
As a general contractor, I bring my clients to Cost Less Carpet so they can see every option.
Everything I need is always in stock.
If it's trendy or new, I'm sure you'll find it here.
And their team of designers are so fun to work with.
It really is worth the experience.
I can find everything for my home or my client's home. No problem.
Shopping here is an awesome experience.
Cost Less Carpet, where inspiration and ideas happen.
Do you like this one? I think this is my favorite. Okay, hon, what do you think of this one?
When it's time for an update or complete remodel, Rebath is with you every step of the way.
Wow, is this going to be ready in time for the baby?
Absolutely.
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
I've been dealing with my weight issues for all my life. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to stay home and just be a couch potato. I wanted to have a fresh start. Spokane Wellness Group has helped me stay on track. When I started losing the weight, then I felt more comfortable. I feel wonderful right now because I've lost 65 pounds. It doesn't take me 10 minutes to walk across the parking garage anymore. I would encourage anybody to go to the Spokane Wellness Group. They stay with you every step of the way.
Sports on 4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Welcome back. More than 8% of people living in Spokane speak a language other than English at home, and that number is growing. And that's why the Spokane City Council is talking about hiring more employees who are bilingual and multilingual.
If passed, the city hopes it will help the move towards the goal of being more accessible to people who speak all languages. Madeline Mullins explains how they plan to do that.
Imagine going to City Hall to pay a bill or find information and you don't speak English and need a translator. The city doesn't have translators on standby who can speak the various languages. It has a plan to change that. The City Council is set to vote on an ordinance in the next few weeks that would allow it to go into different communities and find people qualified for city jobs who speak a second or third language.
So for example, if someone comes to City Hall, wants to pay their parking ticket or they want to pay their water bill, and they speak another language, one of my goals too is to have kind of like a dashboard city-wide. And if someone needs help translating, they can go into that dashboard and request that person to come and assist.
The need for translations is not new.
Last week, we received a request from the police department asking if we could help translate Miranda cards into Spanish.
But Latinos in Spokane, a nonprofit providing services to the Latino community, say it's the simple, everyday translations that people need.
Providing information and that communication in their language is just fairly important so that there's no disadvantage to them.
The city also wants to provide translation so people can participate in city council meetings as well.
Legislative session coming up, right? A lot of our community are saying they want to take part. They're like, can we do that in Spanish? It should be a possibility.
The city says it wants to have translations for some of the most spoken languages in Spokane: Spanish, Russian, Ukrainian, and Vietnamese, to name a few. And if the city passes the ordinance on January 27th, they hope to hire more people who can help. In Spokane, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
All right, we have much more coming up on 4 News Now at 6:30.
Including why your desk job might be the reason you have trouble sleeping.
Plus, the Johnston building has been standing in downtown Coeur d'Alene for more than 100 years. Coming up, I'll tell you what they're replacing it with and also hear from a Johnston family member about the emotional goodbye she had to have.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Your home is more than a place, it's a feeling, a reflection of who you are. And at the Tin Roof, we believe furniture should do more than fill a room. It should inspire it. From timeless dining tables to sofas you can sink into and decor that tells your story, every piece is thoughtfully curated to make your space feel effortlessly you. Because it's not just furniture, it's where memories are made, where comfort lives, and where life happens. It's more than furniture, it's a feeling.
make for you today from the Sweet Palace in Phillipsburg, Montana.
I'm really grateful to be a first-generation student from my family. The ES scholarship was definitely a game changer.
I never knew how easy it was to start a scholarship. Whatever you can give every year. That's how I sold it to my family. We talked a lot, waiting for somebody else to do it. And so we finally decided, no, we're not going to wait. We're going to do it. Graduating from college, it was not even a dream. That's what Eastern has done. We have to continue that. We have to help this precious institution that changed so many lives.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. Could they all just fade away? But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
The show that inspired the 4 News Now Extreme team is back. ABC's Extreme Makeover Home Edition returns to help families live their best lives long after the cameras stop rolling. Be sure to watch Thursdays on KXLY ABC4. And of course, the 4 News Now Extreme team will continue to pay it forward, helping out those in need and doing our part to make a difference in our community. Watch for more amazing projects coming in 2025 with the Extreme team and ABC's Extreme Makeover Home Edition only on 4 News Now and KXLY ABC4.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
After standing for over a century at the corner of Sherman and 2nd in downtown Coeur d'Alene, the historic Johnston building has been demolished, making room for a new high-rise hotel. And it sparked yet another conversation about preservation versus growth in the city.
And for the Johnston family, it also symbolizes a goodbye to their family's name in Coeur d'Alene. Our Hunter Bertram shares the emotional goodbye one member of the Johnston family had this afternoon.
It's winter in Coeur d'Alene, and typically these streets would be covered with snow. However, this week, the only thing that'll cover Sherman Avenue is century-old dust and debris. In the 1940s, Tammy Johnston's grandfather, Ivan Johnston, bought this building.
Each one of the family members, like I said, cleaned the buildings. My partner was my brother, Tim. You had to be available on Sunday nights. That's when you came down and did your job.
She eventually moved away and traded Johnston for Johnson, but always knew when driving through downtown Coeur d'Alene, her family name was alive.
Had our name, not only had our name on it, it had beautiful views for us to see when we worked in it. And so it's kind of hard seeing it torn down like this.
Wednesday afternoon, the front facade was pulled down, erupting clouds of dust and spewing debris. But in the rubble hauled away by dump trucks, contractors let the Johnston family take with them a piece of this building, allowing Tammy Johnson to feel okay letting this part of her family's legacy go.
Yeah, I think the bricks did it, I think, because we were able to literally take something with us.
Tammy and her husband loaded up their blue pickup truck with bricks for her and her siblings. Their plan is to build something in memory of the building in their garden. So what's next on the plot of land where the Johnston building used to sit? It will be home to the new Sherman Tower, part of the Coeur d'Alene Resort. Take a look. The tower will stand 15 stories tall and feature 139 rooms. The resort says doors will open spring of 2027. In Coeur d'Alene, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
All right, let's send it over now to Matt Gray, who's tracking a cold snap coming in your first alert forecast.
That's right. Enjoy the warmth while it is still here, because we're going to start to see temperatures begin to drop and just keep going. Once we get to about this time tomorrow, will be the first wave of that cooler air. So right now, after a sunny day, clear conditions and likely some rapidly falling temperatures over the next couple of hours now that the sun has fully set. We're in the 20s and 30s around Spokane in Coeur d'Alene. Not everyone, though, is looking up at the clear night sky. Colored in this blue so you can see it a little bit better. That is low clouds and some fog that is stuck at the foot of the Cascades and across central Washington. And in particular, we're looking at places like Moses Lake and Othello, seeing some pretty thick fog here this evening. So for Lincoln, Adams, and Grant counties, a dense fog advisory continues until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So this is fog that could be hanging around for a good portion of the day tomorrow. Very calm winds before that cool air arrives tomorrow. tomorrow night, which means that stuff ain't going anywhere. Here's your 4-day forecast. Slowly cooling for the rest of the work week with a chance for a couple of flurries both Thursday night and during the day on Friday. It's when we get to the weekend that we really start to see those chilly temperatures. I'll talk about how cold it could get over the weekend and where you live after this.
All right, Matt, thank you. Washington has a new governor for the first time in 12 years tonight.
Former Attorney General Bob Ferguson took the oath of office and started talking about how he plans to handle the $12 billion budget shortfall he inherited from Governor Jay Inslee. Albert James has the story from Olympia.
The best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Despite the celebrations, Governor Bob Ferguson didn't shy away from some of the obstacles he's going to face over the next 4 years.
We face real challenges as a state and as a people. Our state is unaffordable for many Washingtonians.
The new governor cited housing accessibility, a behavioral health crisis, and a broken state ferry system as some of those challenges. And top of mind, the multi-billion-dollar budget shortfall projected over the next 4 years.
Like any family budget, we must be vigilant in assessing existing investments to determine whether they still make sense and whether they meet our priorities during a budget crisis. And I will start. Last week, I proposed $4 billion in budget savings.
Ferguson also threw his support behind legislation on public safety, education, and mental health care from lawmakers of both parties. He later signed executive orders to examine efficiencies when it comes to licenses and permitting on housing and other areas, saying the government needs to live up to its promise to improve people's lives.
So let me be clear. I'm not here to defend government. I'm here to reform it. Our mission must be to speed up government, improve customer service, and center the people in every decision we make.
Republicans say they were slightly surprised with the overlap between their priorities and the governor's, and they'll support him where they agree while still holding him accountable for disagreements.
These are really good, bold ideas that we've been talking about for a long time. And I think for us, we're here to help and we're here to work with him where we can. The real test for him, I think, is going to be his ability to work with the Democrat majorities in the House and Senate.
Ferguson closed by asking lawmakers to use common sense and be practical as they make decisions.
Let us not be leisurely when the times call for action. Thank you for joining me in serving the people of Washington State.
Legislators have a little over 100 days to address those challenges laid out by Governor Ferguson as the 2025 legislative session is slated to end on April 27th. At the state capitol in Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
Well, the FDA has banned the use of red dye number 3. This comes more than 3 decades after scientists first linked the dye to cancer in animals. Red dye number 3 is a synthetic color additive made from petroleum used to give foods and drinks a bright red color. Manufacturers using it in food have until January of 2027 to reformulate their products.
Well, do you have trouble sleeping? A new study suggests that your desk job may be to blame. Researchers analyzed data from more than 1,000 workers over 10 years, and they found participants whose jobs were sedentary faced a significantly higher risk of insomnia. Many experienced short sleep cycles and higher levels of daytime fatigue. If that sounds like you, taking short breaks with quick walks could help you feel more tired at bedtime.
Well, the Spokane Coeur d'Alene area is getting over $50 million in funding to create a testing facility for aerospace parts. The project's hope is that manufacturers will build their own plants here once the facility is up and running.
The project already has a 600,000 square foot facility near the Spokane airport that will be ready for testing in the next few years. Derek Strom spoke with partners in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene who say the work is just beginning now that the funding is approved.
It took several villages to make this happen.
50 different companies and agencies, including Boeing and NASA, are working together with local governments and schools to make Spokane one of the leading aerospace hubs in the country. The Biden-Harris administration recently approved $50 million in CHIPS Act funding to make the Spokane Coeur d'Alene area one of 31 tech hubs nationwide.
Spokane Coeur d'Alene has an advanced manufacturing base, a lot of that in aerospace. We also have a lot of folks doing composite materials for aerospace. And that's what this Tech Hub's going to do.
Right now, the closest aerospace testing facilities are in Asia, and many companies go all the way there to get their parts tested. But within the next couple of years, this facility behind me could make Spokane the center for aerospace testing, not just in the U.S., but in all of North America. Once the funding is used to bring the expensive equipment in to test aerospace parts for commercial and military planes, companies will begin testing lightweight plastic composite parts that are meant to save fuel and be better for the environment. There are already a few companies in the Inland Northwest that manufacture these plastic composites.
The more they do test bed facilities here, the more that we will get those companies to settle here, the more supply chain we're going to create across the board. It's an entire ecosystem that we want to create around this advanced composites.
The partnership also includes working with local school districts and universities to get the next generation of engineers and designers ready to work in aerospace. The facility is expected to be ready in the next 2 years. In Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
Well, WCC basketball returns to action tomorrow night with a load of games, mostly on the road.
Now, Washington State's men's and women's teams are both on the road tomorrow evening, Jack.
Both teams coming off losses, so both teams, of course, need some wins. And we'll hear from WSU women's head coach Cami Etheridge after the break on what they learned and what they're going to use moving forward.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Gamma Knife.
I think this is my favorite. Okay, hon, what do you think of this one?
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
North Idaho Urology, in partnership with Cancer Care Northwest, we specialize in advanced prostate cancer care.
I'm Dr. Aaron Wagner. I'm a radiation oncologist with Cancer Care Northwest. We have quite a few different treatment options for prostate cancer, ranging anywhere from standard radiation and IMRT approaches to SBRT to brachytherapy, a full spectrum of different prostate cancer treatments. We very much try to individualize their treatment plan for them.
When it comes to your health, put yourself in the driver's seat. As an older adult, you're at higher risk for severe flu and COVID. In fact, people 65 and older who didn't get last season's vaccines were twice as likely to wind up in the hospital. But you hold the key. Be ready for the road ahead by getting your updated flu and COVID vaccines. Risk less, do more.
Ready to enjoy a vacation close to home? Come stay for less and play for more at the Kootenai Casino. Right now, cozy up in a Kootenai Falls Lodge room for just $59 midweek and $89 on the weekends. An incredible bang for your buck. Join us in January at the Kootenai Casino and win this winter. Book your stay and play now. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
It's the region's largest boat show. 10 days of boats, unbeatable deals, and nonstop fun. Explore the region's largest showroom. Unbeatable pricing. Discover better boats, the largest selection of inventory, and the biggest savings, all under one roof. See the latest models from top brands like Cobalt, Malibu, Axis, Regal, Barletta, Cruisers Yachts, Harris, and Chris Craft. Plus an incredible selection of pre-owned boats. The Coeur d'Alene Boat Expo, January 30th through February 8th. A 10-day event you don't want to miss.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything. From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
WSU women's basketball couldn't get past the Gonzaga Bulldogs this weekend, but now they regroup, pushing ahead to the San Francisco Dons on the road tomorrow night in their 12th all-time meeting. Cougs winners of the last 9 matchups. Now, Wazoo has only played 7 true road games this year, losers of their first 4, winners of their last 3, including a 3-0 conference road record. Cougs are the 3rd best shot blocking team in the whole country and have had 7 blocks against the Zags this weekend. But despite that great defensive jump, they failed on the boards, though, getting out-rebounded 45-22. Head coach Cami Etheridge spoke with the media this week on what has to change to pick up another road win tomorrow.
You know, we've got to play with more physicality. We've got to compete harder on the boards. Got to keep taking care of the basketball. And, trusting that our offense, if we play with great pace, is going to create good shot opportunities for us.
The Cougs only have one home game in their next 5 overall. They'll be hosting WCC leaders Portland next Thursday and then have this USF road game tomorrow, followed by a Santa Clara on Saturday, then LMU on January 25th and at Oregon State on January 27th. Washington State will play USF again at home on February 20th. That's their penultimate home contest before a battle against St. Mary's the following Saturday late morning. Tip-off for this game, though, in the Bay tomorrow night at 6 p.m. And more women's hoops news. Gonzaga's Yvonne Ejim earning a spot on the midseason watch list for the Becky Hammon Player of the Year award. She's one of 15 players on the list across 10 conferences, and Ejim is one of only 3 players nationally on now 3 different midseason watch lists, and the only WCC player on this list. This award is given to the best mid-major conference player, and the 5 finalists will be announced in early March. The winner announcement during the Final Four weekend. Zags also return to the hardwood tomorrow. They face off against the best of the WCC and that Portland Pilots team, a team the Bulldogs already upset in Oregon starting off 2025. The 16-2 Pilots have won twice since the Zags lost, collecting dubs over LMU and San Francisco by a combined 33 points. Tip-off in the Kennel is tomorrow evening at 6. Spokane Chiefs ready for their final Wednesday road game of the season. They go far north to the Kelowna Rockets. First meeting this year outside of Spokane. Big story, though. Former Rocket Andrew Cristall playing his old team for the first time since the trade to Spokane just a week ago. Cristall is Kelowna's second all-time leading scorer. He had 340 points and over 200 starts in 5 seasons. He's the reigning WHL Player of the Week. They face off against those Rockets at 7:05 p.m. We'll have highlights on night sides. We have the Coug women and men on the road in basketball. The guys at San Diego tomorrow night. And Derek, they really need a win after rough 0-2 last week.
Yeah, I mean, the Zaz game wasn't surprising. The Pacific game was a rough go, for sure. So, yeah, let's get back in the win column. All right, well, we now know who will lead Gonzaga University once Dr. Thane McCullough steps down later this year.
Yeah, the university announcing Dr. Katia Passerini will be the next president. Dr. Passerini is an Italian native with political science and economics degrees, as well as an MBA and PhD. She previously taught courses in MIS, project management, IT strategy, and knowledge management. She plans to move with her family to Spokane this summer and will begin her presidency on July 15th.
Well, President-elect Trump's pick for Attorney General, Pam Bondi, was grilled for hours on Capitol Hill today.
Bondi is a fierce supporter of Trump. The former Attorney General in Florida supported Trump in his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. ABC's Perry Russum has more.
Today, Pam Bondi, the woman President-elect Trump wants to be his attorney general, questioned about her fierce loyalty to the incoming president.
Are you prepared to say today under oath without reservation that Donald Trump lost the presidential contest to Joe Biden in 2020?
President Biden is the president of the United States. He was duly sworn in, and he is the president of the United States. There was a peaceful transition of power. President Trump left office and was overwhelmingly elected in 2024.
Bondi is the former Attorney General of Florida who supported Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Today, Bondi repeatedly refusing to say Trump lost that race.
Who won the 2020 presidential election?
Joe Biden is the president of the United States.
Bondi says she has had no discussions with Trump about prosecuting his perceived political enemies, including President Biden or anyone on the January 6th committee.
No one will be prosecuted, investigated because they are a political opponent. That's what we've seen for the last 4 years.
Democrats focusing on how she will handle Kash Patel, Trump's controversial pick for FBI director. Patel has defended January 6 rioters, threatened to fire FBI agents, and promised to come after some members of the media. Patel would work under Bondi in the Justice Department.
I believe that Kash is the right person at this time for this job. You'll have the ability to question Mr. Patel.
And I'm questioning you right now about whether you will enforce an enemies list that he announced publicly on television.
Oh, Senator, I'm sorry. There will never be an enemies list within the Department of Justice.
Bondi says this country has to reduce violent crime and restore integrity to law enforcement officers. As she says, echoing Trump, she wants to make America safe again. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up after this break, your forecast. We are going to talk about the cold temperatures on the way for this upcoming long weekend. Right after this.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
This isn't our dog.
That one?
You never got new glasses, did you?
Well, you didn't know Stanton Optical makes eye care easy.
Exactly.
2 pairs of glasses and a free eye exam for $79. Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
It's Walker's Furniture's 4-day holiday clearance, where we offer some of our biggest savings of the year. On many items up to 70% off. Or receive 0% interest financing until 2030 with no down payment and no minimum purchase.
So you can get that new furniture you've been wanting at 4-day clearance prices today through this Monday at Walker's.
All right, it's going to be another good day. Hey, it's cold out, you guys. Families are freezing. They deserve better than that. Let's show them how business should be done. Hey, guys, have a great day. Need anything, let me know. Okay, Fixed Rider is free, baby. You know Zach's going all the way this year, right?
Yeah, I do.
Big day. No heat calls, right? We haven't been voted #1 for nothing, you guys. We've worked really hard to earn these customers' trust, and let's show them that we are the best company in town, okay?
Shifting Gears is the show you've been craving.
Your daughter was like a legend. You were my idol.
You need a new idol. These two are an entertainingly feisty duo. New Shifting Gears, tonight on ABC.
Here at Coeur d'Alene Honda, we're more than just a car dealership. We're family. For the past 53 years, we've been proudly serving our community.
We offer the best vehicles with a nationwide lifetime warranty.
From coast to coast, we've got you covered.
Whether you're looking for an affordable used car, we're looking to upgrade to a new Honda. We're here to make the process simple and stress-free.
It's not just about selling cars.
We give back to local charities and support our community.
And don't forget about our lifetime warranty.
Looking for a great time to put Mohawk's Redwood scratch-resistant flooring in your home? Well, this month, we are taking 20% off of installation on Redwood products. So you can have the beauty of wood for less at Brothers Flooring.
At Stanton Optical, independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should have seen me before I got mine. You're so quiet. Are you mad at me? Book your free same-day eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
Donald Trump, Inauguration Day. David Muir reporting live Monday on ABC.
All right, Matt. It's a very important day.
It's very important. It's Wednesday. You know what that means? Pictures of critters.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a look. It's Wildlife Wednesday. I don't know why I sang that. Oh boy, Chris is gonna get after me for that now. All right, let's start off with a very happy cow elk in Garfield in southern Spokane County. Richard Landers sends this to us and says it has been, because of the mild temperatures this winter, it has been a good season for spotting elk around the Palouse. So looks like that girl's having a good time, and I'm sure a lot of animals enjoying the relatively warmer weather. Let's head further to the west and towards the Banks Lake area from our friend Nora Jen. She lives in Cooley Dam, and take a look at all of these blue herons that were sitting on top of this cliff right over Banks Lake for some odd reason. Kind of interesting. Wonder what they were up to. We then head back into the Spokane area. Dorsey Davis out in the Saltese Uplands, and a little harrier. I don't know whether that's it's a bird of prey. My biology class was a long time ago, friends. But boy, just a beautiful kind of a picturesque little silhouette that bird has. Speaking of birds, Courtney Litwin and a short-eared owl. They're so interesting to kind of look at their faces and how they're shaped and how they can kind of turn their neck almost at 360 degrees. It's some crazy looking stuff there. But hey, thanks to everybody who sent in pictures for Wildlife Wednesday. Fun to see all the animals out, fun to go take pictures in mild weather. Might be a little bit less fun when you got a big thick glove to kind of try and hit the camera button here as we head into a long weekend. And temperatures really going to start to drop once we get past Friday. We'll drop a little bit with that first wave of cold air on Thursday, but after that, things really start to head downhill. I expect our coldest night to be Sunday night into Monday morning, and then we'll have a pretty slow warm up here. So for the better part of probably about 10 days, we're going to stay below average with our low temperatures at least. Our average at this time of the year is right about 25 degrees. So let's fast forward to that coldest night. What are we looking at for Sunday night into Monday when we expect the coldest temperatures? Well, here's what we're thinking right now. We've got a forecast of about 13 in Spokane, but you look over into North Idaho and there's lots of single digits above zero. So it is definitely a heater full blast type of night, with some extra wood on the stove as well. You can see over in western Montana, lots of sub-zero low temperatures there. Single-digit lows in some parts of northeastern Washington here as well. Will be solidly in the teens and lower 20s as you head south across the Palouse and then down into the Tri-Cities region. So it's going to be pretty chilly. Enjoy perhaps the milder temperatures tomorrow. We'll see cloudy conditions throughout the day. A slight chance of a snow flurry as that first wave of colder air starts rolling in by the evening. This is not the correct 7-day forecast. I'll show you the right one coming up in a few minutes.
All right, we'll get back with you, Matt. Before we go to break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Surf and turf. Surf and turf. Low and slow and roasty beef. 2 of those things for $6.99. Arby's, we have the meat.
The heart work of Joya is that they come in and they don't just see a diagnosis. They don't see a child with Down syndrome. They see a child who is worth investing in, because it's not just about what that child's going to do today or tomorrow. It's about where their life is going to go. Being connected to Joya just gives you a sense that you're not alone. Joya is not just there for Elliot. Joya is there for the whole family.
Who isn't looking for extra ways to save some money these days, right? I'm always looking for new ways to save, but I haven't found anything better than my Ascend checking account. It's a free account that offers 3.5% of your average monthly balance. That could feed your coffee obsession for 2 weeks. Not only am I earning money, but it also has all the best features of a checking account. What's not to love?
Open your P1FCU checking account at p1fcu.org and start earning today.
I've been dealing with my weight issues for all my life. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to stay home and just be a couch potato. I wanted to have a fresh start. Spokane Wellness Group has helped me stay on track. When I started losing the weight, then I felt more comfortable. I feel wonderful right now because I've lost 65 pounds. It doesn't take me 10 minutes to walk across the parking garage anymore. I would encourage anybody to go to the Spokane Wellness Group. They stay with you every step of the way.
Swing into Fred's Appliance for our New Year New Kitchen Super Sale and discover unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in our region. Introducing the new Electrolux 700 Series Alpine Green Washer and Dryer. This washer has an industry-exclusive 2 ways to sanitize, making it the most efficient washer on the market.
Fred's, it's appliances, only appliances.
At Fred's, we sell appliances, only appliances.
Surf and turf. 2 sandwiches. The sea giveth crispy fish. For $6.99. Arby's, we have the meat.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, Plumbing.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, the prices of specialty drugs used to treat cancer, HIV, and other conditions are being marked up, some by nearly 100 or 1,000%. Who a federal report says is to blame tonight at 11.
And I've situated my computer issues that are entirely my fault. And here we have your 7-day forecast. It's going to be a pretty chilly, long weekend for many folks. We'll have a very slow warm up as we head into next week. So it's actually going to start feeling like winter around here.
Yeah, those overnight lows. Whew.
Yeah, those single digits, especially as we head into kind of Sunday and Monday across North Idaho. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
All right. Bundle up, folks.
And we will see you on Nightside at 11 o'clock. You're shaking your head.
So we're inside, which is good. Not outside. No.